Hello, welcome to TV Africa. My name is Omulangira Karima, and today I'm honored to be having Professor Kihura Nkuba right in the studios here. You're most welcome, Professor.
Thank you.
How have you been?
Can't complain, no problem.
You can't complain. Yet the brothers in Africa suffering.
Suffering is not new, and suffering is not the end of the world. People sometimes have to go through suffering to be able to see clearly.
So it's part of life.
Yeah. It's going to happen. It has to happen, and then that's what we can say.
We've actually seen fighting in the DRC, just our neighbors here. What could be the main cause of that? Because we've actually, right from the first Congolese war, we come to the second one. Now here we are.
I think Congo needs a strong leader with a strong army who can take it bit by bit. Congo can't be solved with this problem of democracy, where they elect someone because he can give them money or his vocal is whatever. Congo can't be solved like that. He has to be a strong leader with a strong army and a man who can be himself. Because Congo is suffering with the problem of foreign intervention and people think it's minerals. People, some think it's water because the world will run out of water in a short time. A nation has to go through that. They will fight. They will get tired. Then they will talk. Another group will fight, and then they will get tired. And it's unfortunate that people die. But the nation can't be at war forever. Well, people get tired, and then they will get scared of war.
But you're talking about foreign intervention now.
Yeah, foreign intervention. There's foreign intervention. America, Belgium, America, France, never wanted this country to be stable.
What is their interest?
Because they have no resources, and then they want Congo to use dollars. Yeah, because remember, when a country prints money, the more countries use it, the better for that country. Because it means your paper is now being used to buy anything, anywhere. If they stop using the paper, then your paper loses value. Remember, one of the things that America wanted Uganda out of Congo was because Congolese had started to use the Uganda shilling, and it was displacing the dollar. And then Congo as a country keeps its resources in France. So keeps its money in France. It's 70% of Congo's money that they generate is supposed to be kept in France. And France is supposed to tell them how to spend that money.
Why? Is it in agreement?
All these countries that owe allegiance to France have an agreement like that. That's why Taure and the other whatever are running away from France. And that's why France is upset. Yeah.
Now that is France. You talked about foreign intervention. We have US, we have Rwanda, we have Uganda, we have Angola, and other countries. What are their interests? In this case, Uganda and Angola, and plus Rwanda.
Angola shares the border with Congo. Congo is too large. So if part of it can be administered by Angola and people live peaceful, that's fine. It's the same thing with Rwanda. If Rwanda could take a piece of Congo and administer it.
Doctor, you're talking about a country, a sovereign country.
So what does that mean? What does sovereign mean? How is it sovereign when they can't even protect their own citizens? When a small rebel group can set up and then take over half a country, and there are people are fighting, people are running, people are dying. To be a state, you have to you have to have a military, and the military the control of power.
Yeah.
Now the politics the control of power, and the military the control of force. They don't have those two ingredients. And then economics, or what is the control of the wealth, is the control of money. They don't control money, they don't control power, they don't control force. So you can't be a sovereign country. Sovereign, people talk about sovereign. To a person who is now carrying luggage on his head, looking for a refugee being shot at, or having nowhere to eat, or child dying on the way, what does sovereign mean? So if Rwanda can take a significant part of Congo, where maybe they are Rwandese-speaking people, and bring order and bring development and bring trade and whatever. Yeah? Me, I see no problem with that.
What went
the same
wrong?
as if that's at the time when Uganda was in Congo, there was so much trade, there's so much peace, so much whatever. Yeah? And then America didn't want it because Congolese were starting to use shilling. Now the Congolese don't have anything to use. They can't use dollars, it's not theirs. So they are forced now to sell whatever raw material they have so they can get dollars. But if they could use Uganda shillings, that was okay. Yeah. So
who determines the leader in DR Congo? Are they the people or these foreign so-called powers?
Because Congo doesn't control a significant part of Congo.
What?
The Congo government doesn't control a significant part of Congo. It controls a small percentage of Congo.
Then who controls the other part?
All these rebel groups. Rebel groups with whatever interest. I think the wisest thing Congo did was to say, Uganda, come and help me bring peace here. That's a wise thing. Uganda is making roads, but Uganda is also timid. Yeah, they go in a few days, they go backtrack even when they have Congo authority. Yeah, they should say to Congo, let's do this. Then America will call. But now America is going back to its own country. Remember when I was telling you people that all these things about globalization is nonsense. Yeah, you are talking about globalization, a global village. And people believed that rubbish, that there was a global village. Even though you have to get a visa to go to England, you have to get a visa to go to Italy, to go to America. Now, do you have to get a visa to go to your village? Yeah? That's insanity. It's just nonsense.
It's what is being taught. Actually,
now they are saying no. There is no global village anymore. Each country to itself. And if you want to export to us, we'll tariff you.
Doctor, what went wrong in DRC? Because we look at the great leaders this country had. For example, like so Patrice Emery Lumumba.
They killed him. They bought all his generals. They bought all his soldiers. They didn't want peace in Congo. Because Congo is bigger than Europe.
Mobutu
was part of them.
Part of them?
Yeah, he was a thief. But because he knew that people liked Lumumba because he was a Pan-Africanist, then he started having some aspect of Lumumbaism in him.
Yes.
Like African names, African clothes, African music, African whatever. And people like that. People like their culture. They like their names. They like their language. They like their history. So Mobutu promoted that. Most dictators do that anyway. Most dictators like culture, like sports, like
I beg your pardon?
Most dictators like culture, they like sports, they like entertainment, they like to keep the country and the people occupied. Because if you're occupied, you're not going to think of things that you are supposed to do. It's like you see in America all the time. It's wrestling, cockfighting, snooker, athletics, championship. Why? Because the person just spends his time thinking about that. But in Uganda, where these things are not over, they think their time thinking about politics. Politics become the opium of the people.
Is sports bad to the African mind?
No, it's not bad. The sports they practice now is bad, following useless teams from Europe. Some stupid, you find people saying, Batkubye, Mwebani. Batkubye, are you a coach? Are you a shareholder? Yeah, it is the most ridiculous thing for an African that is watching European football. For sponsor your own teams, in your own local team and promote them and buy players and build good stadiums and put up big competition, everybody will come. But why do you sit there watching Germany? They say, in Bayern Munich. You can't even pronounce their name properly. You don't even speak a word of German. Yeah.
Since you're talking about sports, doctor, let's also talk about the so-called element of betting. How did betting come to Africa? Is it good for the youth? Because
of course it's not good. I can't even believe that these countries like President Museveni allows this kind of nonsense to continue. Just because you're going to get some tax. People rip off your population that they are betting. Yeah? If you want betting, let the government control the betting. Let the government own the betting or the gambling so that the money can go to the government. If somebody wants to waste his father's land and whatever, let the government benefit from it. But why do you bring God knows the Serbians and Coax and
Indians.
Romanians and Romanians to come and rob your population in betting. It's just these are just it is also part of this stupid education system that teaches people how to do nothing. Yeah, you are not supposed to. You are supposed to be somebody who knows that this is just cheating you. Yeah, and why would you support that? Why would you like that? It's not rubbish. It's not right. And everywhere you see, like countries like Zambia, it's a big thing. It's a big thing. Zambia needs prayers. Huh?
So
Zambia has got Zambia is 3 times the size of Uganda.
Wow.
360,000 square miles, roughly. Uganda is 96,000 square miles. Zambia's population is 19 million. Like 90% live in cities. So the rest of the country has got like 1 million or 1.5 living in the villages. Rural areas. You can drive from here up to Arua and you don't even see anything. No shop, no shack, nothing. And a king in Zambia, and there are many of them, can give you land for free, like a square mile, 2 square miles. So you people are killing each other here for free, for a decimal. Zambia, they give you a square mile for free. Those people who are killing themselves for land go to Zambia and you produce. They only have 1 season, and their problem is water. But if you do a square mile of maize, you'll be with a lot of money because that's all they eat. Yes.
Now, where is the problem, Doctor? Because when you come back here in Uganda, for example, we had the government is still promoting giving license to these so-called investors who come and start promoting betting. The likes of one of the so-called richest in Uganda here, Sudan. He brought Jada, during the years. From Jada, he brought other rotaries. This was on an individual basis. Why is government, encouraging such investments in Uganda?
But you see, talk about government, but what is government? You see, it's not even the people. The government is not the people. That's nonsense.
That's the definition that we're told.
That's rubbish. That's rubbish.
The government is the president. Government.
The government is the president. The government is Museveni. It's not even the minister. It's not even parliament. Museveni is the government. Forget about these things of democracy and whatever. Be realistic.
Don't you have democracy in Uganda?
What does that mean even? Where? If Museveni wants us to leave the marshlands, he doesn't want people to build on the lake. Yes. He comes and orders the houses be demolished. Now, is that democracy?
He normally says the parliament, of course. Motion is passed in the parliament and then...
Rubber stamp.
What is democracy, Doctor?
There's not such a thing as a democracy. There's no democracy anywhere. It's a government of the people. Maybe Uganda is a democracy, yes. If it's a government of Museveni and his wife, that's a democracy. Because it says a government of the people. Yeah. Isn't Museveni people? If he's Museveni, his wife, his son, and his daughters, and his uncles, and Rugunda, and Mbabazi, and whatever people who went to the bush, that's enough people. That's a democracy.
You're talking about
for
the first
people.
Citizen, Doctor. He's the first citizen. We vote, we put in power.
He's the oldest man in Uganda.
No, but he's the first citizen.
To be a first citizen should be the oldest man in Uganda.
But we vote him in power.
Yeah. How?
We vote him and the
okay,
majority.
But that's not the point. How he comes in power is irrelevant. The heart of the matter is he is the highest authority and he can decide what happens. If he wants this house demolished, he can demolish it. If he wants this road built, he can build it.
Without following the law?
What law? He is the law. Any president, it's not just Museveni alone. Any president. Now, Trump, doesn't he give executive order every day? Is that the law? Does it go through Congress? Yeah. It's a president. He has power. Or Taure, whom we are all crying and trying to see that he succeeds. He says, remember this. Don't blind yourself. All these things is for so-called international community. That's why NRM moved from a one-party state. Yeah? What was it called?
The movement system.
A movement system.
Yeah.
Yeah. But heart of the matter is the government is the president. And when you elect the president. Whether you elect him or you don't elect him, if he has means, he'll come back.
What do you mean by means?
What do you mean? What is not clear? What are you talking about?
You say if he has a means.
Yes, if he has means, if he has force. The government, the military is the control of force. If you control enough force, you'll become a leader.
Those were the days. Those were the days, Doctor.
Which days?
Those were the days, the times of Idi Amin or Bote. Can they happen right now?
Which country are you living in? Are you Uganda?
Yes, Uganda, where we vote.
Okay. The only thing I can tell you is Uganda has more, is better 1 trillion times than Zimbabwe, Zambia, or even South Africa. An average Ugandan is 1 million times better than people in that country. I'm telling you. In Zimbabwe, breakfast is $30, lunch is $70. A doctor earns about $200, and maybe government gives some extra money. It becomes about $300, but he lives in an apartment of 8,000, of 700.
Do people have
there are no people in villages. There's no food. Food is all imported.
What's wrong with Africa, Doctor?
Because
the food basket of the world.
Because we don't listen to ourselves. We are looking for solutions from outside. Like now we are talking about Museveni. I don't care whether Museveni is he shoots himself to power, whatever. It's what you do with that power. What we do. Right now, what he's not doing is learning about money, learning about wealth, how the control of money. Money is the control of wealth, and wealth is the control of money. If Museveni knew how wealth is created, and he doesn't, if he knew how wealth is created, every Ugandan will be let's say $1 millionaire, and he wouldn't even ruin the economy, and he wouldn't even need to make effort. Now, there was a time when we were praising growing some pineapples and pawpaw and whatever, and the cow. Yes, we want everybody to have a cow. But to wait for 3 years for a cow to grow and the cow to give birth is not going to make you a millionaire.
It's good, Doctor, you talked about President Museveni.
Yeah.
Maybe not having the real knowledge of money and wealth creation. But is the real person actually the president, the fountain of honor, who, when he came to power, started bringing in programs that are going to develop individual Ugandans. We had the PMA. We had the Bonaba Gagawale.
All those is trying.
We had
trying. That is trying.
We had the Operation Wealth Creation.
Yes, and I was the chief strategist for the Operation Wealth Creation.
Now, that is
those programs make Uganda better than other countries. Because in Uganda, a person can directly get money on his phone. Like 1 million. At least you can get. There are countries where a person has never received anything from government. Nothing. You are living on your own volition. You are, nothing. So those programs make Uganda better than other countries. But it is not going to make Uganda wealthy.
Why are they failing? Why are they failing?
To know how to create money. Wealth, what we call credit creation, how to create credit and how to direct credit. Those two things. How credit is created, how banks get money, where the banks get the money they lend from, and how to direct what they call credit guidance. How to guide credit. That's what made Japan. That's what makes Europe. How to guide that credit so that it goes for production. How to create money for production. He does not know. He does not know that. If he knew, everybody would be rich. Because Uganda has enough wealth, has enough production, he can finance production. Fuck everybody who is doing anything. Even if you're a carpenter, growing cows, rearing chicken, you could get even $500,000 from Uganda. It's enough.
Now, being the brain behind Operation Wealth Creation, you yourself, what went wrong?
There's nothing wrong. I'm not. There's nothing wrong. I was not the only brain. I was a chief strategist. There were other brains. This permanent secretary was with us. That's not the thing that took me from wealth creation is because they didn't want to listen. They didn't want to listen to me. And I know why they didn't want to listen. Then I said, okay, if you don't want to listen, I'll go to South Africa, I'll go to Zimbabwe, I'll go to Zambia. And what I am telling you to do as a country, I'll do as an individual. I'll create enough wealth, to shake up the country and make everybody notice. That's what I did. Well, I've done enough.
You've done enough?
Yes. Right now, we've just bought one of the largest pharmaceutical companies in South Africa, Spec Farm. One of the largest. It will be producing human medicine. It produces human medicine for Zimbabwe, Zambia, South Africa, for Pfizer, for Germany, for big. I'm talking big. We have mines in Zimbabwe, mines in whatever, and we did it in a short time. So I know how to create money, and I can show the government how to do it. I know where all the other countries get money. Now, you heard when I was saying that the government should use the dollar to back the currency.
Yeah.
And at the time, people were saying, but the dollar is backed by gold. Now, you know it is not backed by gold. Now, you know the government now is trying to buy gold. You know that?
Yes.
To reserve. This is after 15 years. After 15 years.
Yes.
And they are not going to be successful in buying gold. I wish them success. But there's a methodology for buying gold. How gold is traded in Uganda. Those who talk about it are hoaxers. Those who have it to sell don't have. The real people who have gold, they have a method they did, and I don't think Bank of Uganda will know it.
Now, Doctor, talking about, before we move on from the economy, now President Museveni has introduced the PDM,
Yes.
the Ugandan PDM,
Yes.
whereby
What
he
does
gives
PDM stands for?
Parish Development Model. He gives 1 million
I
to an
was there
individual.
when we were coining it.
Yeah. Now, will that help Ugandans at least to create some more wealth?
It makes Uganda better than other countries. That's what I'm saying. But it is small. It's insignificant. The first money that you give a person, they will eat that money. And it is justified. Because if I don't have even a blanket, if I don't even have shoes, if I don't, even my house doesn't have a door, you give me 1 million. I'm not going to get that 1 million and invest it. The first thing I'll do is I'll buy my children clothes, I'll pay off my debts, or whatever, then I remain there. So that's why I'm saying it is small. It's not enough wealth. You understand? But it makes Uganda better than what? It means now this person can buy a hoe, and then go to hoe to dig something, or he can go and rent some land, and maybe he'll spend 800,000 and remain with 200. So that's not enough. I think to give a person substantially, you need to say this person will get like 50 million, maybe a minimum of 50 million. But you control how they get it. They get it through production. So we are going to give you, if you want to buy a tractor, we'll give you money for a tractor. If you want to buy fertilizer, we'll give you money for fertilizer. If you buy land, we will give you a grant so that you can buy land. But you must produce. You must make a point that you are going to be producing within the first 6 months to begin production. Because if you create money for production, there is no inflation. You understand?
Yes.
Because inflation is a lot of money following a few goods. But if there is no money, if there is no production, then you create inflation. Then you devalue your currency. Because inflation is a form of devaluation. It devalues the currency. So that is one. So that the money, whereas it is spectacular, I started speaking about this in 2002, that a person must feel that he belongs to a certain government by receiving something from it. By receiving money directly, and I didn't want them to give, whatever, let them receive money directly into their phone, which is wonderful. But it is not wealth, It is not insignificant, it's not enough. You understand?
Yeah.
So, you need to say, the minimum that the government is going to give an individual is 50 million. The maximum is 1 billion. If you want to start a factory and whatever, and you have 1 billion, and we can see that and if you don't, you get 1 billion and you should go to jail. You should go to jail. You get 50 million, you are not producing, you should go to jail. But That's what the government, but to do that, but there is a lot of money. I can tell the government where it is. Why do you think Britain, which is in trouble, financial trouble, is giving loans? Where is it giving the money? Why is it giving Ukraine? Why are they fighting all to loan money to Ukraine? Why? Why? You don't have money. Your citizens don't have. Why are they not giving it to their citizens? Because of how money is made, how money is created. And the government needs, what makes our society so deprived, that sense of deprivation is lack of knowledge. There isn't enough knowledge. People think they know, but they don't. Yeah? You know, in ancient Egypt, there were 4 types of people. 4 types of people.
Yeah.
One was, if a man knows not, and knows not that he knows not, he's foolish. Man number 1. Man number 2, if a man knows not, and knows that he knows not, he's a student, teach him. Number 3, if a man knows and knows not that he knows, he's asleep, you know, wake him.
Wake him.
And if 4, if a man knows and knows that he knows, he's a teacher, follow him. So, I see like Matia Kasaija, a Minister of Education.
The finance.
Yes, Minister of Finance. Genuinely speaking, what does Matia Kasaija know about finance?
The economy.
Where has he created wealth to qualify to be a person of finance? A man, yes, I know he has a farm. He has a good farm, you know, looking after cows. But does that qualify you? Is he a Minister of Finance because he's qualified to be a Minister of Finance? Or is he a Minister of Finance because he can not steal the money? You understand?
Yes, yeah.
He might be a Minister of Finance because he's not a thief, which is a good virtue. But that doesn't make him a Minister of Finance. And worse still, the economics, I saw him recently on TV and he was saying that he doesn't know crypto, money that travels in the air. And he says, I don't know crypto. You can't be a Minister of Finance, you say that. You are ruining your own economy by those kind of statements. You can't say that. You can't go and talk about how ignorant you are about something. Yeah, you are a genuine person, you are saying this, but you can't say that. So, he needs to look for people who know, because the economics they teach in school, in education, is meant to hide the real economics. And I've spoken about this. You know, now, Matia Kasaija, balance of payment deficit. Export more than you import. We export coffee. How does America pay us? Dollars.
Yeah.
Where does it get it from? Prints it. Presses, you know, press printing. Pew, 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 pew. It prints and gives it to us. How much effort have they put in it? Maybe it's, in terms of energy, a few calories. Yeah? But we put a lot of effort in making coffee. Yes. When we want to buy something using our money, what does America tell us? Not hard currency. What is that? Yeah.
Now, getting back now to Africa. What has been happening in DR Congo is actually happening in South Sudan. It's happening in Sudan. Who is to blame?
The Sudanese.
The people themselves?
Yes, because if you are together, even a foreigner will find it very difficult. Don't you think there are foreigners that are trying to destabilize Uganda?
Yeah.
All this endowment. You remember one time I was in Munyonyi, and I was talking about that organization, Endowment Promotion of Democracy, George Soros. These are just regime change. Their job is to control, but they are in Uganda. The government licenses them. It allows them to operate here. Yeah. So the Sudanese still have a fight in them.
What do you mean?
They still want war.
Can someone want war just like that?
They do. Otherwise, where would the people come from to fight it? They still want war. They are going to fight and get tired. Then when they get tired, you see throughout history, God is on the side of the strongest battalions. God is always on the side of the strongest battalions. The strongest army is the one that God chooses. God is not
God is not
stupid.
fair.
God is not stupid. He's not going to look for a weak army and say, I'm going to support this. No. I see
not fair.
people praying and saying, me, you humble servant. God is not interested in you humble you. God is interested in strong people, you know. God is interested in people. He said, yeah, that's my son. So, Sudan needs some strong army, somebody strong to defeat the other people, and once they are defeated, impose a government by force. Because that's how governments are. Governments kidnap a country. They kidnap a country, put in place a system, and if you agree with them, you prosper. You know, some after time, they even make it more easier and create freedom. But that's what it is. Without force.
Of recent, we had, and right now, the vice president of
Which country?
the first vice president of South Sudan, Dr. Riek Machar, is under house arrest.
Yes.
Then we had some politicians from Kenya saying that President Museveni, you know, is in control of South Sudan. How true is that?
I wish it was. Go ahead, Museveni, control Sudan. Who is controlling it? Go and control it. But Riek Machar should, if he's in jail, that's a good thing.
No, house arrest.
Yeah, let them put in the house. He can cook some food, he can make phone calls, but take away the phone. Sudan needs a strong leader to control it. That's it. That's how governments are made. That's how governments are created. You control the power, as in politics. You control the force. You control the processes of socialization. Then you have a government. But your government can't have several power centers. This one here, that one there, this one there. You say this, I say, we are not going to do it. No. It can't be like that. So, if Museveni controls South Sudan, good. Help South, but the thing about South Sudan is, it's also Maragentama. Yes, Maragentama, you know Maragentama, Gundi Endiga. This is like a strong leader. Their soldiers have no control. They go to fight. They don't have, like, this is a captain. He can even command a general. You know, they blow a trumpet. Ooh, the enemy is there. They all run there. Oh. So it's a difficult. However, we take a lot of wealth from Southern Sudan by them trading with us, by them using our money, by them whatever. So Uganda can't let Sudan collapse. It should not.
Oh.
It can't. Because it will affect our shilling. It will have, if we have nowhere, if we get, say, $500 million from South Sudan, by them not having industries, the things come from Uganda.
Yeah.
Now, if they stop buying, Uganda's economy will be in trouble.
In trouble. Oh.
Yeah. If Congo stops, why do you think Uganda is doing roads in Congo?
In Congo.
So that our goods can go and reach the farthest part of Congo. They should do a road up to Kisangani, to Kinshasa.
That's a strategy.
Yes. Otherwise, if Congo was, I think, giving us almost $1 billion. So if they don't give us, then we are in trouble.
So, Doctor, we are looking at countries that are actually in the East African community, which is a shame, according to me, the way I look at things. You know, aren't we doing enough as East Africa to restore peace in DR Congo, South Sudan, and Sudan?
All these problems are problems of wealth. There isn't enough wealth. Where there is no wealth, people will fight. Do you know that a soldier can join the army just to get a uniform, a new uniform, and to get shoes? You know that?
I didn't know that.
Yes, a soldier can join to get food. Because the food in the army is regular. They feed you at this time. If they don't feed you, you riot. So, if it is a problem of wealth. Now, Karema, can they ask you now to go in the army? You go. Are you going to be interested in staying in a trench waiting for a Dewey, for the enemy?
But
so,
as the community, what can we do?
Wealth, we need to create wealth. That's what I'm telling you. You need to create enough wealth. And our governments don't know how to create wealth, and they don't want to learn. They believe what the World Bank and IMF is telling them, and IMF and World Bank is lying to them. You want to create wealth, come to me. I will tell you. I can tell Uganda, Sudan, particularly Uganda, how to make every person a billionaire. can do that.
Why don't you start with, at least from let's say county level?
No, because they don't have the
District
power.
level.
I told you.
Mm.
Remember when I was beginning, I said the country belongs to who?
The president.
Now can I go to your family and start giving orders to your child or to your wife? I can't because you, the pharaoh, the president of your country, of your house, is there. So the country belongs to the president, regardless of what you, leader of opposition, speaker, you are whatever.
Mm-hmm.
The country belongs to the president, and there is only one pharaoh in a home. That's the law from a long time. He who has the strongest force will control the country.
Let's go to West Africa.
Yes.
We have the likes of Burkina Faso.
Yes.
Everyone's talking about it.
Yes.
The general, Traore.
Is he a general now? I thought he was a captain.
So I don't know about the rank, but
I think he's a captain.
Okay.
Because he's following Thomas Sankara. So Sankara was a captain. Yeah.
Is it safe as we speak right now, according to what he's doing, he's promoting for his country?
No, you mean safe physically?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what his security is. Yeah, but if people want to get you, they can get you. Yeah. But Burkina Faso was changed by Sankara.
Yeah, the upright man.
And even after he left, Blaise Compaoré, who killed him, could not change the mentality of the people. He set them. He said the best teaching is not a lecture, it's an example. And Sankara showed an example in a very short time. Now, it doesn't matter if you kill Traoré. There are many Traorés now in Burkina Faso. They all believe they are the land of dignified men. They all believe that there should be no corruption. They all believe that a minister should drive a small car. They all believe that you are lucky if you are employed by government. They all believe they must make their own railways. They must wear shoes made in their country. So those are all the things that Sankara did. So it doesn't matter. You'll be wasting your time. Of course, they can send a missile now or a drone and it kills him. Yeah. So it's not difficult. Yeah. But you kill him so that what? So another Traoré will come. You even be more radical than you. Yeah. So and everybody now knows about Traoré. Yeah. But the best thing that is happening is this. Russia,
yes.
What Russia has done in the world, it has reorganized the entire world system. To the extent that all those people that used to kill leaders and whatever, no. You can't do that now because there's Russia.
Whatever you do is watching.
Russia showed Europe that it is nothing, that it has no power.
How did it show it?
By defeating Europe in a war in Ukraine. Every equipment, every trick, all these NATO officers, all these HIMARS and JDAMs and Storm Shadows and Leopard tanks and whatever missile they had, Russia said, bring them, and finished them. All the tanks they were talking about, Challenger tank, nothing. Yeah? Nothing. Russia has shown NATO to be the weakest. It's shown America. America is not wanting to talk to Russia because it's strong. It's because they're running scared. And Russia is not stopping. But that's the Russian war of war. It has never been won. You can't win a war against Russia. And once it gets in their mentality that you are the enemy, you are in trouble. So Russia has demolished the entire Europe.
It has not come to Africa.
It's supporting Africa. Haven't you seen? Even Traoré is going to the 7th, to the May Day parade in Moscow. Yeah. Where they are celebrating, I think, the defeat of Nazism.
Will it make Africa safer from the US?
Oh, yeah, it will make Africa a lot safer. Because they know Russia is there. It will make Africa safer. Of course, the country must protect itself. We can't just rely on Russians. Russia has also got its interest. But not only has it done that, it has also changed the global geo-economic arrangement by weakening the dollar, by setting up BRICS setting up a payment system, and by making countries exchange their currencies so that every currency now becomes an international currency. Because Ugandan shilling can exchange for the ruble.
Yeah.
The ruble, if we want something in Russia, we pay in Uganda shillings. If Russia wants something from us, it pays in a ruble. That is phenomenal, spectacular. That's because of Russia.
Now, Doctor, talk about the African Union. When you see, for example, the foreign intervention in Africa, where is the African Union? Where is the AU?
Which AU? Where is
African Union?
Where? Where is Africa United? Where?
Aren't we? Don't we have the African Union?
Is it an elephant? Is it a lion?
No, of course, it's the body. It's a body that is responsible for uniting all Africans.
That's what it is, an organization. Yeah. That is funded by, God knows, Israel, built by China. You have got European Union represented there. You have got, it's not serious. You can't seriously ask me where is the African Union, where it's supposed to be in office. So, is that something that you when you sit at home, you say, we are safe because there's a European Union? The African Union?
It will be the case.
No. Huh? It's even near the Africa Command. It's near the Djibouti, isn't it?
Yes.
So that's. It's not time for Africa to unite like that. Africa needs strong leaders who don't care about Europe. Like now I've started hearing Kagame saying some good things. And I heard Kagame, I think President Kagame was talking about Sinoraj and credit creation. I don't know whether he knows, I think he knows Sinoraj and credit creation. So we need a leader who says, I don't care about Europe. We need a leader who says, my roads are done by Rwandese or by Ugandans, not China, not Morem Construction, not Starring, we want that kind of leader. And when that kind of leader will come, he will probably get 5 countries, unite them, and they form enough force to absorb other countries. But so far, that is not there.
You've talked about Sinoraj, Doctor.
Yes.
And you talked about it so many years ago.
Yes.
Can you please educate us about Sinoraj in just a few minutes?
Well, so, you see, this is 50,000 Uganda shillings. If I gave you this to, say, supposing Orimufere, you want to make a paper like this, you go and print this. No, billion. You think they'll charge you how much per piece?
Like maybe 5,000.
Okay, it won't be that much. It's probably be about 1,000. Let's say 1,000. So if you're a government, you print this for 1,000. When you issue it as how much? As 50,000.
50,000, yes.
So you have made a profit of how much?
4,000 something.
No, 49,000.
49,000, yeah. Wow.
That is called Sinoraj. It's a profit that a sovereign or a country makes by issuing money, less the cost of printing and distribution. But Sinoraj is also on treasury bills. When a government sells a bond, you know what a bond is?
Yeah.
It's a piece of paper that the government says, okay, you buy this for 1 billion. And you give it to them and they credit your account with information that says you have 1 billion. How much has it cost them? It has cost them nothing to print. It's just the cost of a printer by issuing a bond. So the Sinoraj there is almost 1 billion. If they issue a bond of 1 billion. You understand?
Yeah.
Now, if the government was clever, it would also be earning Sinoraj from mobile money, from credit card. You have seen in that war with Russia, America fighting that Russia should use the credit card. Because a credit card is used to pay for something. But it's just a piece of paper. And taking an actual item.
Yeah, transfer.
Yeah. So the government should have its own, the Bank of Uganda should have its credit card that it issues to citizens. Yeah. So these are the things I'm telling you about money. that a country must know how to make money. And when it makes money, it must put it in production for its citizens. Then it can create wealth. Not make money so that people build houses, because the house is not producing anything. It's dead capital.
Of recent, Doctor, we've actually seen Ugandan markets. You're talking about now these stores, the local markets. They're being piled up with goods from Kenya, with pineapples, with oranges, with tomatoes from Kenya and from other countries. And those tomatoes from Kenya, many of them actually, they are genetically modified organisms. They flood our markets here. And one of the reasons they gave is because they're cheap, they look healthy, and they spend like 2 or more weeks on the stall,
Yes.
without going bad. What is the health implication for this?
Dangerous. We've talked about this a long time. We lectured about GMO, genetically modified organism, glyphosate, and it's the people should stop eating it. If the government doesn't want to stop it, it's going to destroy its own domestic market. And because it's East African community, it can't stop those products. But the best thing they can do is stop it on account of GMO. It can say that GMO products, they can't come here. Now, as long as they can do that, but if they don't, the products have to come because we are part of East African community. It's an economic union. You can't stop them bringing things. Then you, the TV, can stop people eating those items.
Okay.
But GMO is dangerous. Genetically modified organism is dangerous. You should stay away from those tomatoes and eat these small tomatoes. The cherry tomatoes. Yes. Let people go to cherry tomatoes. Because those ones we grow here. Yeah.
Okay. When you go to Container Village, it is filled with fertilizers, herbicides from outside.
Yes.
And people
But
are
don't
running
we
for
have
them.
companies here that are making those herbicides?
No, we are getting them from Netherlands.
Now imagine.
Is Netherlands a better country to deal with?
Do you know how big Netherlands is? Do you know the population of Netherlands? It's about 4 million. There are probably more people in Ankole than there are in Netherlands. But it was at the center of international trade. It was as a center of robbing and cheating. And it was actually the people who came from Netherlands and Britain that populated America. Yeah. So, now, how do you get things from Netherlands? But now, we teach these things, but that's why I stopped teaching.
No.
I stopped teaching. The best teaching is not a lecture, but an example. Yeah, because I can't tell people now, imagine that they are eating GMO. That is horrible.
And the worst part of it is the best farmers we have here in Uganda. We have, of course, one of the government bodies actually is promoting this, where the best farmer is taken to Netherlands.
That was started by Kabshenga, a guy called Kabshenga.
Yes, and it's still ongoing.
Kabshenga, you need to correct that. You are
a New Vision boss.
Yes, and I'm the one who introduced him to growing coffee and matoke. The obsession with these useless countries. But don't worry, Russia is going to sort them out. And now Trump, is going to help us.
No, but Doctor, I want to talk to this local, the first one actually, the first farmer, the consumer. You talk about governments, you talk about heads of state, but now what about the consumer? Because he may not be in the know.
Yes, but what am I going to do to him? This consumer. Does he listen to TV Africa? The consumer?
Maybe it's high time they do that.
Yeah, what let them do? We have told you stay away from GMO. That's it. If you see a tomato big and it is staying on the shelf for a month, ask yourself why. It's supposed to rot after 3 days.
Yeah.
If it doesn't rot, then it's not natural. Stay away from it. Don't eat it.
Will the war in Gaza ever end?
Yes, it's going to end. Because Iran now has enough political power to push out Israel, to defeat Israel thoroughly. Israel is not going to, and also because America now.
But Iran has been supporting Syria for quite long, and
Who has been putting Syria?
Iran has been supporting Syria.
Yeah, but Syria, it was also part of their own problem. You have to support somebody who wants support. There was no Syrian willing to fight.
You have to be with like God. You support the strongest.
Yes. So, I think God decided, this journey the Syrians were not willing to fight. They bought most of their generals off. They paid them money. Yeah? At the crucial time, they just gave up cities. And then after that, they started slaughtering those people who have betrayed them. So, but Iran didn't want, because, Assad there were things that he was not doing. But Iran has capacity now to obliterate Israel. And there's nothing Israel can do about it. So, that America is interested in weakening Europe. You know that?
Yeah.
Complete weakening of Europe, so that Europe can be on its knees, especially Germany. That's why it wants to deny Germany the resources of Russia, because the whole of European countries depended on Russian resources, particularly gas, energy resources, so that to make industrial production cheaper. And that's what Germany benefited from. But America now didn't want that. That's why it made Europe fight whatever to Russia. And when Russia get angry and started defeating them, then America now withdrew. But at the time when Europe is weak, then Europe was getting its materials from China. Now through the Suez Canal. Now you know what Europe has done? It has started attacking the Houthis so that they can attack ships passing through the Suez Canal.
Hey, that's the trick.
Yes. Now the goods are passing through South Africa.
Yeah.
So because of that, Europe is starved of resources from Russia, and Europe is starved of resources from elsewhere because they are not passing through the Suez Canal. The cost of passing goods through South Africa to Spain is very high.
Yeah, yeah.
Also, European airlines, they used to fly via Russia to go to China, to go to Australia, to go to Japan. When they started the war, Russia says you can't pass here. Now most of the airlines collapsed. And it says, China, you can pass. So Chinese could offer tickets lower than everybody else. Then Russia started developing a sea route, away from the Suez Canal, through to the Siberia and the part of Russia that is in ice. Yeah. So they have icebreakers and whatever. So their goods don't have to pass through the Suez Canal. And they invited other countries to say this route is cheaper.
And they followed.
Yes.
Wow. Doctor, I can't thank you enough, but I can't go without asking comment about what's going on right now, the immunization of malaria, vaccination of malaria.
Are they vaccinating against malaria?
Yes. Recently, Uganda, Burkina Faso, Mali, actually 3 countries got money to start breeding mosquitoes, genetically modified mosquitoes in Entebbe.
Is that from Bill Gates?
Yes, of course. Yes.
If it is from Bill Gates Foundation, Bill Gates wants to kill the entire population of Africa and leave only 700 million. Africa is supposed to be reduced in population to 700 million. Bill Gates is the most dangerous character on earth.
The routine has already started.
I don't know. I pity the country if that has happened, if that is happening. I didn't know. But these people, where do they come from?
Ugandans.
You baby wine, instead of protesting, go and protest against Bill Gates. Yeah? Instead of this. Bill Gates is completely dangerous. And if he's bringing mosquitoes, now imagine.
Genetically modified mosquitoes, they are producing them in Entebbe. Now they are going to release them
in the population.
Yes, they go in the wild, they mate, with the traditional ones. When they mate, they will not produce more as they've been producing. That's one of the tactics.
But then as they're doing that, the mosquito has a life of how long?
Like I think 7.
It's not even that long. Because now if a mosquito is going to die after 2-3 days, how is it going to be there to mate with another mosquito? By the time it gets there, it will have died. So a mosquito is going to go around and then meeting another mosquito and says, okay, let's start a relationship, huh? You know, you need to become my girlfriend. It's people. I'm telling you.
Okay, thank you very much, Professor Kihura Nkuba.
Thank you.
And of course, thank you very much, dear viewers. But, you know, we can't forget to tell you that you have to go and subscribe and comment. Send us questions. The professor will be here actually to answer you back. Thank you very much. See you when you see us.